Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I am coming to you with the very last video from Celebration 2018. This awesome happy birthday card. I made this for two purposes. It was a paper and ink cards class card, and one of the reasons why I chose this card was to feature the Eclectic Expressions Celebration stamp set. I just love this set with the little watercolor wash pieces and the patterns. The circle looks like watercolor. The greetings, thank you, happy birthday. Everybody can use that, this fun little line pattern. It's a great, very useful set and a perfect thing to add to any order. When you place a $50 order or more with Stampin' Up! Through the end of March, you can get this Eclectic Expressions stamp set for free. That leads me to the next thing here. My stampin' pads for this project are the 2016-2018 in colors: Dapper Denim, Emerald Envy, Peekaboo Peach, Flirty Flamingo, and Sweet Sugar Plum. Now these are the in colors that are retiring this catalog. I am not sure if they'll ever be offered again, if they're coming out in another catalog or what, but these colors are at the end of their in color run. And what happens is right after Celebration, Stampin' Up! Puts out the last chance, the retirement list, the last chance list, and anything in these colors is going to go very, very quickly. So if you have these ink pads, get the re-inker for these ink pads right now. If you have the ink pads but you want markers, grab the markers. Get cardstocks, these gorgeous ribbons. There's a beautiful seam binding ribbon that we're going to use here in Emerald Envy. They have the striped ribbons in the in colors. Anything in color is going to go very, very quickly with the end of Celebration here, and then the retirement list, the last chance list that'll be coming out very shortly here after Celebration. So I made this card so that we could handle those colors, that we could stamp with them, use some of the accessory pieces, you know, like the ribbon, cardstocks, and we could talk about the in colors and get them while you can if it's something that you like, because once they hit that last chance list, it'll be gone before you know it. So I will be putting the project sheet on the blog, KitchenTableStamper.com. You can get all the measurements and everything there. There will also be a supply list with all of the in colors that and all the supplies, ribbons, ink pads, markers, cardstock, everything 2016, 2018 in colors. So you can take a look at that list and see if there's anything you want before it's gone. The other ink pad that I used, Memento Tuxedo Black, for my birthday greeting. I have my Starburst punch here, and I decided to switch this metallic doily for a Starburst. I thought the lace was a little stiff for a fun happy birthday card like this. So on the sample here, we're going to use the silver foil cut with the Starburst punch. I also am going to use the silver foil stars like we did on my Epic Celebration card. So we've got the little strip of stars here, and I just cut those out with the foil, with silver foil. And I like to do a bunch of those all at once so I can use them as embellishments. So I'm going to grab 3 of those. They're all cut and ready. So a little silver foil cardstock there. Our consumables for this project include that foil Starburst Emerald Envy card base, and this is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of Emerald Envy Designer Series paper, the triple lines. This is from Pick a Pattern Designer Series paper. I love this. It's got the Emerald Envy and the Flirty Flamingo in that Designer Series paper. So you might pick that up to go along with some of your ink pads, markers, ribbons, things that you know you're going to have in the future but won't be readily available. And then I've got a Whisper White piece here that's 4 by 1 1/4, and that's for our sentiment piece. The crinkle seam binding ribbon is about 9 inches long, I believe, and we're going to go ahead and tie that right in a bow while we've got it. And then you're going to need about 15 to 20 inches of the silver metallic thread. I really love that silver metallic thread. I'll show you on the card how it adds just a nice bit of sparkle. Okay, so there's our little crinkle seam binding bow. Besides the crinkle seam binding, you're going to need some of this metallic silver thread. About 24 inches I pull off like a 1 arm length. I love this stuff, and see how it adds just a fun little bit of festive sparkle to the card. All right, let me get the ink pads and we'll get started stamping our background. I'm going to start with my warm in colors. I've got Peekaboo Peach, Flirty Flamingo, and the Sweet Sugar Plum, and some scratch paper here because we are going to stamp right off the edge of this piece of Whisper White cardstock. We're going to start with our lightest warm color, the Peekaboo Peach. And let me get this sample in here so you can see. I'm going to make about 3 or 4 dots with each of the in colors. So we'll ink and then move, and I like to use kind of a triangle pattern to determine my placement. So there's my Peekaboo Peach. Now the reason that we started with the lightest warm colors because we'll just wipe off and then stamp in between, and we can move to the Flirty Flamingo without too much work there. And then again, we're going to stamp in kind of a triangular placement. There we go. 3 or 4. I like to go kind of 3 and then 1 really off the edge. You want it to look natural, like they're just bouncing around. And then the Sweet Sugar Plum. Got 3 of those. Now I'm going to clean off and move to the cool colors. Got Emerald Envy and Dapper Denim. And the Emerald Envy is probably the lighter of the two, although they're pretty close. And we're going to stamp 3 or 4 of those. And then just swipe and clean up a little bit. And then we can move to the Dapper Denim. And we want 3 or 4 of those. So we're going to go in that kind of triangular pattern again. All right, so I'm happy with my dots. It's really a pretty background. Takes a minute and a little bit of cleaning in between, but looks good. Then we're going to, well, we've got the Flirty Flamingo open. We're going to stamp the lines from Eclectic Expression about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom and pretty much centered. Then I've got my Happy Birthday greeting and my Memento Tuxedo Black, and we're going to add Happy Birthday right above those lines. I'm going to let them overlap just a little bit on the sentiment. Looking good. All right, let me get the ink pads out of the way here and we'll start putting this card together. Okay, so I've got my paper snips here, and we're going to just trim the edge of the end of our little bow, and then we're going to cut a dovetail in the end of our Whisper White Happy Birthday sentiment panel. And then same thing. I think I'm going to go just a little bit shorter. I want some difference in the length there between the Designer Series paper and the Whisper White. Okay, let's kind of dry fit that one again. Yeah, there we go. And we'll cut that one right at the end of our Designer Series paper. Now, and I've got this little starburst punch here, and I have not compared the size of the starburst to the size of the doily, so we're gonna have to see here if we're gonna need to cut this starburst in half to kind of lengthen it. I think we're gonna be okay. I think it's gonna show nicely. So what we want to do is add some fast views to the back of our birthday sentiment panel and stick that to the silver, and then we're going to put a piece of, or a bit of fast fuse all the way across the back of the birthday sentiment and line up the designer series paper there. Then we can adhere the whole banner sentiment to the card front. All right, next up, I'm going to grab a roll of glue dots and add a glue dot on my little bow here, just right at the knot, but embellish my tag. And then these cute little silver foil stars, let's get those added to the card. Little dot of multi-purpose liquid glue where the star is going to sit. Make a triangle placement. And then I like to use the glue to kind of pick up the stars and add them to the card. Now to just further embellishment, maybe further secure the stars, I'm going to go ahead with a little mini stapler here and staple each of those stars on. I think it adds a fun little texture element, a little surprise. Now, I completely forgot my thread, but that's okay because we can just tuck it in. I'm going to make a couple of loops of the silver thread here. And I'm going to grab a little mini glue dot. I think this is going to be a good way to kind of fake that I remembered to put it in there. And put all the loops on the glue dot. And then I'll just tuck the glue dot right underneath my little silver foil starburst here. Okay, so to add the little silver thread, we're going to loop it, kind of bunch it at the bottom, stick it to a glue dot. Then you could pick up the glue dot with the paper piercer and just tuck it in right underneath the silver foil starburst. And then you'll have to arrange your loops the way you like them. Then fast fuse the back of your birthday panel, and we're going to add this right onto our Emerald Envy card base. Let's center this and get a nice little border of Emerald Envy all the way around. And there's our fun, festive, happy birthday card. I think I like the Starburst Punch better, a little bit less delicate, a little bit more whimsical. All right, if you've got any questions about the end of Sale-a-bration, the Eclectic Expressions stamp set and how you can get that for free with your Stampin' Up order through the end of March, you can email me, Marisa, at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.